Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button. Sport Fan Center, a talk sports show, and a lot of interesting topic on the lineup for your consumption today. A lot has happened in the world of sport, most especially in the world of football. You know, we talked about the Ballon'dor, we talked about the African award, talk about so many things, and even the verdict of CAF on Libya, and so many topics. The Flamingo in the menu today, and also the double-legged friendlies against Algeria by the Super Falcons of Nigeria also on the menu today. Well, I will not be alone to talk about all this exciting topic of in the world of sport and in the world of football. Where I have with me the big analyst in the studio today. Yamaita, welcome to the studio.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's a good day to talk about. Especially the Man U fans will be happy. That is also on the menu.
Yeah.
After suffering for the past 2 years plus, I think it will be a breath of fresh air for them. A lot on the menu, but it's so good to be back after this last 7 days World of Football. A lot has happened.
A lot has happened. If you are a Manchester United fans, I've not seen any Manchester United fans who say it's not happy with this decision. If you are Manchester United fans and you are not happy with this decision, I want to see that in the comment section of this Talk Sports show. At least let's see one Manchester United who will say I'm not happy with the decision of the management.
I don't think there's any Manchester United fan that will say that he or she does not want Ten Hag to leave, because the man started sounding like he has lost it, like he's not even in charge. You know, there's something about management. You have to be in charge. If you are no more in charge, they see it. That's one of the fastest routes to lose your job. You see pressers, I mean his press conference, and you see all those things. So it's very obvious that he lost it already.
All right, we'll talk on detail when we get to Manchester United, because during the our match preview we have Manchester United versus Chelsea. So we have a lot to talk when we come to that time. But let's quickly go to the Ballon'dor award that just ended, and we've seen the winner, we've seen the losers, and there have been a lot of talk here. Some are not satisfied with the decision of what I call it, the France the French football. So and some are in doubt with the credibility of that, and some are still looking up to us. I think there was a time in 2010 and 2015 FIFA best player was merged with the Ballon'dor, but at the point they separated again. You know, so well, we will go deep into that, and we'll look at the line, the winners and also the loser. Rodri was declared the winner. and a lot of people have actually looked up to Vinicius to be the winner of the Ballon'dor. But at the end of the day, it was Rodri, and gradually a lot of people are gradually seeing why it was Rodri. You can actually give us your own thought on that.
I think one of the things that went against Vinicius was that there were too many prospects for Ballon'dor in the same team. So that is one of the reasons why his vote was divided.
Okay.
So there was Jude Bellingham, there was
Carvajal,
and there was Vinicius. So Carvajal was there, got to the finals of the Euros, won the Euros with Spain. There was Jude Bellingham, won the Champions League, got to the final of the Euros also. And there's Vinicius, who didn't get to the final of the Euros, but just because he was acclaimed the best player in the Champions League. So when you look at it, I think that if you look at Rodri's performance back to back for years now, he has been extremely consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency is there, and you see that it was a big factor in Spain winning the Euros. He played a key role, and also another key role in Man City winning the league. We saw the games where he was absent for even Man City, a Pep Guardiola side, and you see them struggle. I think that guy deserves some accolades. After all, for me, that award has lost its taste because they've given to some guys that it's just like they create a reason to give one person and they give them per year. So I don't really recognize the award that much for me personally, but it has history. A lot of big names has won the award, but Rodri has won it. You just congratulate him. For me, Rodri is a fantastic player. Does he deserve it? Is another topic.
All right, I think you just hit the hammer on the head, because this thing, the voting is consistent of coaches, media, and journalists. You understand what I'm saying? And so if you look at it, like you said, you have the supporter of Vinicius concentrated in one side, where you have other people like Carvajal, Jude Bellingham. So they were divided. They divided that vote, just like the politics we play here. Where divide and rule. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what actually happened. Yeah, it was not intentional. It was not intentional, but it happens. But a lot of people will not understand. And to me, let's listen to what Benzema said. Benzema said, of course, Rodri is a fantastic player, but it's not a player that you can do something and we just say wow, that will wow everybody. But if you look at his consistency and the value he had, is something else. That was what Ronaldo said. Ronaldo actually supported Rodri to win it, because you look at it, he said Rodri will win you difficult competition, win you difficult games where you don't expect to win. So do you agree with them?
See, I beg to disagree with Benzema. Rodri can give you some wow performance. Let me give you an example. 2023 final, Champions League. You saw that go against Inter.
Yeah.
What was the response?
I said wow. I actually said wow.
That
how he got it, I don't know. Past how many defenders? Look at the placement.
In a marquee game like that, even De Bruyne didn't come to the party. It was Rodri.
Yeah.
If you look at the way Rodri has been performing week in, week out in the Premier League. Now, if you look at it, La Liga last season, it was Jude Bellingham that was the player of the tournament, not even Vinicius. So Vinicius, out of 3 competitions now, because you are the best player in the Champions League, they should give you, even he had a very terrible Copa America. Even for me, if you look at it, Lautaro Martinez should stand a chance rather than putting him in 7th. So as far as I'm concerned, I think, giving it to Rodri is not bad. It's not bad, actually. But I would have made a better case for Jude Bellingham. Because he got to the final of the Euros, won the best player in La Liga, in Champions League. It was fantastic for Real Madrid. So, I think that Rodri won it. Congratulations to him. They can't take the award away from him now, except he does something unusual. But this one, he has taken it home.
And it's a year for the Spaniard players, and also looking at the women. It was Aitama Bumati who won it for the female side.
Bumati, the Barcelona femina midfielder. She's also the reigning female Ballon'dor winner last year. So
back to back,
won it back to back. And you saw how Spain took out their opponent. How Barcelona to cripple their opponent. So you just have to love her for that, and at least give honor to whom honor is due.
So I go back to the Ballon'dor, the men Ballon. So the only African player right now out of the number mentioned is only Ademola Lookman. What does that tell? Does it tell? I think does it tell how he actually performed under the year review?
I think it speaks about the decline in the performance of African players.
Look at it. The former African player of the year. Let me say the current one is not even on the list. Osimhen.
Yeah, he had issues with injuries last season. So, but when you look at it, at least not just 1 out of 30, the whole of Africa.
Musala is not there.
Musala is not there because of the season he had with Liverpool. So, I think it's based on the performance of the African players, especially playing in mainstream Europe. So, I think they need to improve, do better than what they did last season. But Ademola Lookman being there, he deserves it, especially with that trick in the final of the Europa League. When you look at the way he was going at his opponent, especially a team that has been unbeaten all season, and the way he took those chances clinically, finished them well, and you just have to just give him a lot of credit.
All right, talking about the goalkeeper, it was a Milano Martinez deservedly won that one, and the only African player that was in that nomination is Williams of South Africa.
Williams too, top goalkeeper, but the Rolls Royce of goalkeeping now has to be Emiliano Martinez. Not so strong with his foot, but that gloves can save lives. Can save the day. That World Cup without Martinez, Argentina will not smell it.
Wow.
The penalty shootout, is it that final save against Moane? So you just have to give it to him. Even this Copa America, he saved the Argentines' blushes by saving that penalty, I think, against Colombia or thereabout. So he has come in massive for them. Even he is a big factor for Aston Villa getting back into the Champions League places.
All right, let's quickly look at the African shortlist, African player of the year shortlist. 10 men shortlist. I think you've definitely gone through that list. Are you okay? Are you happy with it? Because right now in that list we have big names that are missing in that list. Players like the former African player of the year, Osimhen, is missing. Mo Salah is missing. Mohamed Kudus is missing. And the likes of players, they are missing. So, but where we have 10 men shortlist for that African player of the year. So where we have Anime Guareri of Algeria, we have Edmond Topsoba of Burkina Faso, Simeon Andigra of Cote d'Ivoire. Then we have Chancel Mbamba of DR Congo, Seou Gurase of Guinea, Akraf Akmif of Morocco. We have Sofian Rahim of Morocco. Demola Lookman of Nigeria, William Trestoken from Nigeria, and Rowan Williams, South African, a goalkeeper from Melody Soundan. Those are the 10 men shortlist for the African best.
I think in football all things are not always equal, but all things being equal, I think Ademola Lookman is far ahead of all those other guys. A guy that maybe Williams, but he didn't get to the final of the Nations Cup, or maybe Adingra didn't. The final it was pivotal, but not like Ademola Lookman. Won the Europa League for Atalanta, got to the final of the Nations Cup, scoring 2 or 3 or how many goals down the line.
But don't you think the head-to-head against Adingra and Ademola Lookman, which actually count in this African best? Because Cote d'Ivoire defeated Nigeria, and Adingra is from Cote d'Ivoire.
It is not about just the team that won. You have to look at impact. You have to look at a whole full calendar year. So it is footballer of the year They have award. If Andy Gray wasn't given the player of the tournament, so why will you, because of that, give him the player of the year? So
I think the player of the tournament was
Trusecon,
Trusecon, Nigeria, and it's on the list.
yeah, he will be on the list deservedly. It was so rock solid for Nigeria. We saw the games he missed for this World Cup qualifier. How the backline was nothing to write home about. So he is one huge factor in the Nigerian setup.
So if I ask you, why do you think, what do you think, why Victor Boniface, Osimhen, Mohamed Salah will not be in the top 10 list, short list?
I think it's their performance.
Mohamed Kudus.
Mohamed Kudus, woeful performance by Ghana in the Nations Cup. Salah, woeful performance by Egypt and lost the league with Liverpool after they were in a comfortable position. Boniface is the unlucky. Boniface is unlucky. And
Boniface was not even in the Nations Cup,
No, he was unlucky
because of the injury.
Because he went for the camping ahead of the Nations Cup and he got injured there. So even the form that he was in with his club, it affected it because he was, I think, scoring back to back, winning back to back Rookie of the Year award, of the Month award in the Bundesliga. So if he had consistently continued to play, I think he would be in that list. But let's say this season he has started out like an ass on fire. Let's just hope that injuries doesn't cut him short at the end of the day.
So at the end of the day, say most likely it's going to be Ademola Lookman. Don't you think it's going to be like when a lot of people thought it was going to be Vinicius Junior, but at the end of the day, it was Rodri?
I think you have to look at it that out of the 30-man list, you see that Rodri has a fighting chance. Cavaja had a fighting chance. Jude Bellingham had a fighting chance. So it was not just arrowhead Vinicius. The press was just pushing Vinicius.
So right now in this 10-man list, I think they have a fighting. How do you call it?
The only
and Williams also.
The only room Adingra had was the Nations Cup, but he was not even given the player of the tournament.
Was not given. He scored against Nigeria. He scored against Ademola Lookman at the final.
This is not Adingra versus Ademola Lookman.
Yeah.
It is not a football match. It is an award. Yeah. There are 10 men. Out of that list, you pick one. It's not as if you are picking one between Adingra and Ademola Lookman. So that's
I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to see the chances they have in this encounter. Trying to look at their head-to-head. Now, let's talk about the goalkeeper side of it. The African, the CAF nominee, where we have Osama Bembot from Algeria. He played for USM Algiers. Then we have Andre Onana for Cameroon, who played for Manchester United. We have Yahya Fofana for Cote d'Ivoire. He played for Angers. Yeah, and then we have Lionel Mpasi for DR Congo, who plays for Rodex in France. Then we have Mustafa Shobaya for Egypt, who plays for Al Ahly. We have Jingoye Diarra for Mali. Yeah, he played for Young Africa. We have Minor El Kajo for Morocco, who played for RS Berkane. Stanley Wambali, Nigeria, played for Chipa United. Rowe Williams, South Africa, Mamelodi Sounder. No. So, and then we have Amanha Mamarche for Tunisia, Esperance Sportive de Tunis.
Yeah, when you look at this list, you see that most likely the award will go to Williams because he won the Golden Glove in the AFCON. So when you look at it, with that performance also in the list of the top 10, I think that is a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. But one value on the list is a step up, at least after Nigeria suffering from the goalkeeper syndrome. At least somebody came and shoved off the space. And right now, Nigerians can comfortably say they have a number one goalkeeper right there. So I think that over time, Nwabali too can grow into that position Williams is. That's Nwabali's first Nations Cup. You can't compare with Williams. So, and as you do something consistently, you grow more into it. So I think Nwabali, maybe another Nations Cup, a World Cup, or another year performance, I think he can do better than he has done.
All right. So let's talk about the women. The women are part of it yet have not been released yet, but we hope that it will be released very soon. But we're looking at it, even at the Ballon'dor. If you look at the Ballon'dor, the only African footballers female that we mentioned is Banda Brabra. Yeah, she was the only one mentioned. I was expecting to see. Yeah. I was expecting to see in Glantane. I mean, I call it in South Africa. Glantane. Yeah, I was expecting to see her.
I think the name they mentioned, Banda Barbara, is the only name that deserved it. Adibina Azizat was still in mainstream, performing week in, week out. I think maybe she would have maybe had a shot at it. But since she's not around any longer, now going for the retirement package. So I think Banda Barbara stepped up and counted. That explains why African football needs to grow. Especially this aspect of the national team football. They need to grow. And
there's another African there also. That is from Malawi. That is Tabitha Chiwenga. She plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, a female Malawi. She's from Malawi too. So two African countries, Banda Barbara and Tabitha.
Banda Barbara was in the top 10.
Yeah, Banda Barbara finished 12th.
Yeah, top
12th. Yeah,
12th.
Yes.
I saw the award live, and I felt that that was a good performance. She plays in China.
Yeah, she plays in China. She plays Orlando Pride. She plays for Shanghai. I assist look Orlando Pride. They play for two. Yeah.
So I think that she deserves it. She carries the Zambian team.
Yeah. So probably we'll be seeing some players like Ajibade probably in the top 10, but she's not going to make it because players like Banda Barbara, they're doing fantastically well. We saw the match against England, South Africa against England. We saw that goal scored by Glatana. Beautiful goal. I saw it. I was just shouting, wow, look at the pace. She ran through the defense, got that goal. I just said this is the kind of African best we are looking for.
Maybe she'll win it, but so all this award selection, it's selection. It can give you the surprise of your life. So I just will wait, sit on the fence, and I hope the fence has a good foundation, so it doesn't fall. So I'll sit on the fence on this one, and let's see who wins at the end of the day.
All right, let's see who wins at the end of the day. So let's quickly go back now. Verdict from CAF, in favor of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. All the 3 points to Nigeria with a fine of $50,000. $50,000. And they have just 60 days to pay that money.
They have 60 days to pay it. And the aspect I like the most about that ruling is any appeal is dismissed. Because it is one thing for you to want to vent anger, it is another thing for you to put people's life at risk. It doesn't make sense. Even when the pilot said it was low on fuel, and you still tell him to still move the plane. What if they crash land? What if those talent, those are ambassadors of this country on that plane? Investment of clubs like Bayern, Leverkusen, Atalanta, and all the big clubs are on that plane, and you don't care, and you said you should travel more. No. I think that fine is too small for me. I think they should banish them away from Libya.
They should banish them away from football, from CAF football.
No, not from football. Banish them, their home games. They should go and.
But because the Libyan FA right now also want to appeal this judgment against this verdict by CAF. They want to appeal it, and what they are saying right now is that Nigeria are using their wings because they have big names player. They have a player scattered all over Europe, and they are using that muscle against them at this point in time.
You see, one thing is very clear: there are evidence everywhere. Social media is filled with evidence. It is not about muscle; it's about what they did that is wrong. They make it look like they want to revenge. Meanwhile, they orchestrated the first one. How can you tell the host nation 2 hours to the time that this is where you will land, apart from where they had planned that you should land?
Okay.
And you think you will not wait? You will be delayed because you need security, you need all those things. But Now that one happened. You are not trying to paint it like, oh, you want to retaliate. No. It's not.
All right, and you know what the CAF president say, Patrice Motsepe. You know, it was say I think they have to put a stop to this kind of rascality in football. You know, because he was even given an instance. You know, the first time he spoke about this, he gave an instance of during the period of COVID, players go to play match. You get to the airport. It's from the airport, the immigration and the medical team will look at the players and select their best 5 players and say you have COVID. Quarantine. They'll take you to quarantine, and after the match, they release you.
You know, things happen. In the world of football, the more you look, the less you see. It's like politics too. You know, it's politics, but football too has a lot of politicking in it. So, but yeah, the fine. We want to see them pay the fine and pay it on time. There's no room for ngbati. They should go and pay that fine so that next time it will serve as a deterrent for them going forward, not doing this kind of shameful act. And you know, it's just like spreading Africans lining underwear in the public. It was not trending on Twitter. All those things.
You know, if you look at it, you know, even some Nigerian. Let's say people who are opposing Nigeria said Nigeria have done this thing past before against Orlando Pirates last 30 years ago. But you look at it, 30 years and now, do we still continue? Do we still need to continue with that archaic way of doing things?
They've forgotten that 30 years ago was a military era.
Yeah.
So you can't compare a military era to a democratic era.
And you can't even compare that 30 years ago we were in this position. You know, like Akik Africa, but development has come. People are enlightened now. People are aware now. Should we still go back to that? It was an error in the past. You understand? It was an error in the past. Should we continue with that error in the past? Let it stay in the past and let's move forward.
We need to move forward, especially as Africans. We need to move forward. We need to do better than we have been doing before. There's no point in doing all these gimmicks. You go to the essence of qualifying for tournament is that you have something to show at the end of the day. If you don't qualify through the right route, proper drilling, you go to the tournament and mess yourself up. So why are they doing all these gimmicks just to earn all 3 points? It is unnecessary.
Well, and again, some Nigerians are not satisfied with the verdict of CAF. That the CAF needed to do more, like disqualifying them from this African competition qualifier.
I think this is it looks more like a first-time offender. So you can't really say disqualify like that. It will be too harsh. So I think the best route could have just been banish them from their home ground. They should go and be playing in another country. Maybe take them to South Africa. You know, distance.
And play all their home game.
That fine. Come heavy on them. So that will be really painful because the FA will lose money. They will pay fine and also lose money they could have made from the fans coming to watch the match.
All right, to our fans, wherever you're watching us from, let us know your location and then let us also see your contribution on the comment section. Yeah, whatever your thoughts are on this ongoing issues, topics we are discussing right now in our Talk Sport Show. Let your own part of your thoughts be shared with us here. Where we have Mary Olugbudi, he say hi, watching from Ibadan, Oyo State. Nice discussion, mostly the sack of Eric Ten Hag out of Man U. See, the Red Devil in Man United has been sacked out. well, that is his own view. He said the Red Devil in Manchester United has been sacked out. Well, is that the Red Devil? No.
That was trending on social media. That they've defeated Man U so much that the Red Devil inside the flag has left the flag. So, but honestly, is the step in the right direction for Man.
All right, let's go back to this topic where the Super Falcons of Nigeria, a two-legged affair, defeated the Green Ladies of Algeria, won in the Kenny at the home ground of Remo Star and back in the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos. The first one ended 2-0 and the second one 4-1 in favor of the Falcons. We saw the coach Justice Madugu just invited six foreign-based player. The rest were home-based, and we saw players give good account of themselves in that edition. Is that the way? Is that the way forward for the Falcons of
I think
Nigeria?
now is if you want to discover new talent, you have to test, shop,
Yeah.
change,
Yeah.
invite new guys and see the one you go with at the end of the day. So what he did is expected. That's why it's called a friendly. You can test one and test one and test one. And that friendly is not really a real representation of a proper tournament because pressure is not added. When you add pressure, even the best can be very, very poor.
Yeah. Because we also can criticize them here that they don't organize friendly, but now they have organized one, and now the criticism is that the kind of country they are playing friendly, that you should go for a more advanced, maybe the top flight team to play against in the friendly. We saw South Africa play against England. England defeated them 2-1. But to me, I think it's a step at the right direction because you are bringing foreign. Look at it. Is it from this now we are discovering? They discovered this in Jalamosi, how they call her. So a player who was the highest goal scorer in the Nigerian Women Football League, got an hat-trick in Lagos. So I say welcome to the all eyes on Folashade in Jalamosi. That's her name, Folashade in Jalamosi. I'm trying to pronounce that name. So she's now a star. Everybody looking at her that it should be co-opted into the Super Falcons of Nigeria.
Yeah, that's the way to go. With her in the Super Falcons setup, you will see that she will have more suitors worldwide. We saw Fast coming in from Bali after that performance he had with the Nigerian national team at the AFCON. So it is a no-brainer that if she gets that call-up consistently, becomes part of the starting 11, she can actually get there at the end of the day.
All right, she can actually get there. Also, we saw the Nigerian crash out playing against South Africa in the ongoing Under-17 Women World Cup. They lost that 2-0 against South Africa. But hey, what are take-homes from that World Cup?
Yeah, we've seen Nils Chidi, the guy, the lady in the
Chidi Amoni.
Yeah, and also in the midfield, the captain
Moshood.
too.
Moshood. Afolabi.
Yeah. So if you look at it, I think that the ladies are really, really coming up. There's the star center back number 6 too. So it's a developmental competition. So they've seen new talent that can actually come up, grow up into a unit at the end of the day. So I think that one of the things that the positives is the new.
The positive is so. Where do you think that the teams in charge of the under-17, what do you think they should do? Or should they be promoted to under-20, or should they continue with under-17? Because now it's going to be a yearly affair. It's going to be an annual affair from this time around. It's going to be an annual affair. Do you think they should be promoted like the ones you discover so far? Because to me, I've seen like 4 players in this under-17 that if you promote them or giving them the opportunity, train them very well, they can exploit.
The thing is this: under-17, under-20 is about age. The ones that can still stay, there's no experience that is not useful. So the ones that can still stay in under-17 can still stay based on age. The ones that are over age should move up to the next cadre. So that's also how I think it should be.
All right. Also, we also saw under 20 WAFU championship. Nigeria won it back to back. They defeated Ghana and they just concluded a final. And what's our take home from that also?
Nothing much. They just won it. Yes, it's good they won it, but if you look at it, that's the way they won it the last time and went to fail successfully in the AFCON. So what's the essence of winning WAFU B if they won't win or at least qualify for the World Cup at the AFCON? So it's very, very important that they do the needful at the AFCON.
All right. We are having right now with us. Yeah. So, so apart from what we are just saying right now, But is it a way forward? Because one, if they have lost that match, you will have complained. You will have given reasons why they don't deserve to be playing for Nigeria.
It's not. It's an age grade competition. I want to see progress. I want to see how I play. But how will they shine if they don't get to the biggest stage? Where's the biggest stage? Is it not the AFCON and the World Cup? So especially the World Cup, that's where this talent shines. A lot of this Osimhen, it was at the World Cup that it blossomed.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? Is the World Cup that is the cocoa? Okay, the guys that won the WAFU last time, where are they now? How many can you mention? But if they have gotten to the World Cup, we would have recognized some of them as a mainstay. You know, it's a big factor for them to get.
But don't you think Nigeria have lost so many players because maybe they didn't get to the World Cup? You know, is it because there are players that need time, and when they gel, they gel. When they pick, they pick. You know what I'm saying? So they just needed that support. You know, they needed that support to get to that stream, and when they get to it, that is all. So don't you think Nigeria must have lost so many players because they are waiting for them to get to the World Cup?
It's not that they are waiting. They want to see them compete on the biggest stage. It's not as if they all they wait for is the World Cup. But at that under 20 level, if you want to really shine for the whole world to see, you have to be at the World Cup. It's very, very important. Now I asked you, you said Nigerians, you also say Nigerian. So I asked you then, I said, how many players can you still remember? And that's it. And if I tell you the under 20 that Nigeria got silver medal then 2005, you will mention some of the players that were there. Why? Because they got to the World Cup, they performed very well, and new talent came up from that ranks. So these things are just very clear for us to see that it is very, very important that they make it to the biggest stage.
All right. Thank you very much. So we go to the next issue right now, which is our post match view. Let's see what actually transpired. Some of the important matches that took place during the week in review. So let's quickly look at the first one. Yes, at Manchester City lost to Tottenham.
Yeah, the Carabao.
Their first loss for the season. Manchester City, they've not lost for the season.
Yeah, you know, now the reality of the season is eating in. Doku is out injured. Savio got injured in that game. And fatigue will start setting in. We are getting close to December, one of the most difficult times in the Premier League. So when you just oppose everything together, you see that is long time coming. Very soon you will soon see the league lost too. And Tottenham, because Man City is not doesn't have the depth they used to have. Even forward, it's only Haaland that is the main striker they have now. They don't have anybody to deputize. Alvarez that used to deputize went to Atletico and they didn't get a replacement. So congrats to Tottenham. The manager has been asking Lyrica about winning in his second season anywhere he goes. So let's see if he will win in Tottenham this season. Maybe at least a League Cup won't be bad after all.
All right. And we have Ducky in the studio. Ducky, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, and thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Gentlemen and ladies, fans and viewers and friends all over the world, from Premier Sports Fan Center here. I'm saying it's always an experience being here with you at the studio, and it's always wonderful sharing with you in-depth analysis on soccer, especially the beautiful round leather game that we all have come to know even before we were born. So I'm glad to be here tonight, and I would like to have a great input in what's going on.
All right. Right now we are on the topic of Manchester City are losing their first game for the season against Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, and they're out of it. You know.
Yeah, and you know that's bound to happen. Just like Yemite said, you can't avoid going down. You can't remain up all the time. There is the law of nature here. This world we live in decides that anything that goes up, it's a law of nature, really. Anything that goes up must come down. And if you look at physics will let you understand that objects will continue to move, remain in a perfect state of rest or in uniform motion, unless an external force is applied on any of them. So, however much you're moving, you're coasting. Any external force that comes against you will change your direction, and it is bound to happen. Guardiola was expressing himself, and he said, "Look, we have about 6 major players unavailable for selection, and he has to pick from fringe players, and he was not going to hurt his team further with Carabao Cup." He stated it. He said, "We're not going to incur new, fresh injuries from the Carabao Cup." So he was still going to reserve 1 or 2 players who he found vital. Unfortunately, at the Carabao Cup, they still lost Savinho, who is supposed to be critical, supposed to be very critical, holding on for either Doku that is injured, or taking frontline position and creating in the midfield and the wings as well. So he's lost quite a number of players, including his goalkeeper, and the team will feel it. Unfortunately, he can't buy any players until January. And there's also FIFA fair play that they have to worry about. They have about 115 counts that they're still facing with the FIFA and FA trying to resolve. Okay, they're still waiting for the outcome of that. And we will expect that at a point in time, players will fatigue. Not just physically, but also mentally. When you've won everything, what happens is you start going down. It is called the law of diminishing return. You see, you're going this way. When you climax, you can't find anything to fight for again. Gundogan decided to leave because he won everything. He just decided that, look, let me go try another challenge. And then going out there, discover that, man, it's a jungle out there, and ran back, to his comfort zone again. But thankfully for Guardiola, he still has those kind of legs that can still stand in for him.
He didn't run back. The thing was,
it's an idiom. It's an idiom. It's an idiom.
No.
It's not literal.
No, I'm trying to say the way it is.
Yes.
Baka was suffering from Brook syndrome, from Sakpa syndrome. So they needed to let go of some
Gundogan because they could not pay. Because they could not pay him.
And Yemi,
yes.
he ran back to go.
And Man City said, Guardiola is a friend of Barca. Let me help. So that their Sakpa will not sing.
Let's not go into that detail anyway, but there were a lot of things that happened there. So for Guardiola, I'm hopeful that some of his French players will click. If they click for him, they can sustain the momentum before or while waiting for the big boys to come back. Kyle Walker is out. Doku is out. Who are going to play wings for him? That's Savinho. He doesn't have wingers anymore. So he has to revert to the academy now and try and bring up balls. And we know Guardiola, since he moved to City, hasn't depended so much on the academy. The case of our wonderful Chelsea sellout that is now performing all over the place. Those are some of his academy people that he was supposed to disciple and keep. But I think it was the pressure of we must win. He kept on buying strong players.
Well, he brought up Foden too.
Foden. But we know Guardiola. Guardiola that we know will fill his team with 3/4 of his academy back in the days at Barca. We have 70% of them.
Premier League, the competition is.
It's not about the competition. It's about his need to win that Champions League. The pressure was on him to win the Champions League, and he was not going to compromise training players or giving them chance versus bringing in already established legs. So he had those legs there, and he couldn't wait for Palmer to develop. So Guardiola and Man City, sorry, I'm really sorry for them, but I hope they don't keep going down. But where they are now is not appealing at all.
All right. Let's quickly go to another post-view match of the week, and that is Chelsea are losing to Newcastle after defeating them in the Premier League. Now back to the Carabao Cup and the loss.
I'm very happy. That Chelsea lost. They
Why?
Focus on the Premier League. As far as I'm concerned, now every other thing is a distraction apart from going back to Champions League. Now look at the front of Chelsea shirt sponsor. It's because of Champions League football that is bringing those companies don't want to commit the sum that Chelsea is worth, because Chelsea is not playing in the Champions League. And if you look at it, Champions League is where the big guys come. They rub shoulders there. So it's very important. No game saying, no calculation, no other thing. Champions League football should be there.
But apart from that permutation you're actually giving right now, the cup, is it not important? It would have been a booster to Maresca, who just came for his first season.
No. I will say what Yemi is trying to say here is that from a fanatic point of view, he is a fanatical supporter of Chelsea. He wouldn't want to see his team miss that top 4 position
in the
put them at the top ebb of European play. Yes, you can look at it that way too. However, let's not forget that every attempt you made at getting something is like adding to your success. If Chelsea has qualified into quarterfinals, there will be an increase in their fan support. Whether it's Carabao or FA or Premiership or Champions League, there will be an increase in fan support and protection. Excuse me. Now, let's also look at the club management. Why would they enter for a competition they don't intend to advance in? You don't do that. Nobody pays for a ticket you don't intend to win. When you buy a ticket, you want to win. So
I didn't say
no, I'm not castigating you. That's why I'm analyzing this. And what I'm saying is that as much as Chelsea, you might think that Chelsea is right for them to drop out now so that they can have focus, right? Just that's what
I didn't even say it's right. I only said I'm happy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You said so that they can be focused on the task at hand. Yes. And exactly. So what I'm saying is that yes, that is the fan view of it. But that is not the management view of it. Management wouldn't pay thousands. They will have paid thousands of pounds to enter for that tournament. You agree with me? They will have paid a lot to enter for every tournament. You pay. We went to play football here for how much? We're playing for 500,000. We paid 150k to enter the tournament here. And that's just an all-star club. So Chelsea is possibly paying like £10,000 or £5,000, and management wants to see something from it. When you want to see tickets come in, and the longer you advance in the tournament, the more the tickets you get. Ticket sales, television rights, and a lot of other things. And even the tournament organizers themselves, they will pay you for advancing. But as a fan, we have certain targets. We want to see our team play in the top ebb, play in the big league, and it's fine. But for me, I'm not sure Chelsea will be happy to drop out. Maresca has just lost one of his targets, because the target he will have been given is at least get to semi-final or final of this tournament. Carabao, they will have been like, get to Carabao, you can win Carabao. FA, get to final of FA. They would have set those targets. League, finish top 4. UEFA Conference League, win it. So he's lost one of his targets already, and he's not going to be happy about it.
You know what he keeps saying?
Yeah.
He said there was no target for him at Chelsea, either to win this or win that. The main target is to build a proper playing structure, which he is doing and doing very well.
Okay.
And if Champions League football now gets on the menu, it's fine. If it doesn't,
no, but that's a beautiful target to give a coach an open ticket.
You give him a reason to relax.
It's not going to relax.
Not to be under pressure. Not to be under pressure.
One, they want to drop the pressure down.
Yes.
They just sacked a row of coaches in the last 2 years. About 4 coaches in the last 2 years. So they're like, look, we're going to sack you too, but we are not going to give you a target. But if we find out that what you're doing is not interesting to us, you are not building the team, you are not making enough progress, we will also sack
a legend.
So, but however, where we might not give you a definite thing about winning the league or finishing top 4 or this and that, But if we don't see progress, we will sack you.
All right. Thank you. Let's go to the last post-match view, and that is the big one. That is the match between Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Barcelona shocked the world after defeating Bayern Munich 4-1. We thought it was a joke. I thought personally. Let me say we. I thought it was a joke. They went ahead, defeated Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Everybody was surprised, and it was. If you look at the all of internet, it was a caricature here and there. Doki, how do you feel at that moment?
Well, Barcelona coming out to. I hope I'm live on screen and
they're listening to you. They're listening to you.
Barcelona coming out to Pepe, their eternal enemy. For me, I went into that match with the mind of like, well, whatever. Because in the last 2 seasons, Real Madrid has had the better of Barca. Just once in 2022, did Barca win them to win the Copa, Super Copa, and about 4 or 5 times in a row, Madrid has peppered Barcelona. They've defeated Barcelona, and that has not happened in history for about 20-something years.
Wow.
That Madrid will win Barca home and away like that in the league. But it happened in the last 2 seasons. So when this came now, with the young legs we have, even with the Bayern Munich performance, I didn't have so much hope. I just expected them to play well and possibly grab a draw. Worst case scenario, you had the Bernabeu, grab a draw. But when I saw the eggs being laid, the first egg was laid by Rafinha. In fact, it was the first one. It was Mbappe that first scored a fake goal. That one was like
fake goal.
And then Lewandowski got the first egg laid. Poor, it counted. And then again Lewandowski again within 2 minutes. And my daughter was like, Lewandowski has scored though. I said yes, I knew, because I was watching while I was on the way. And by the time I got in, she said Lewandowski has scored. I said yes. By the time I now looked at the screen, I scored 2-0. He scored again. She said that's what I was saying. He scored again. That is 2 within 3 minutes. And I was like, you have my attention, guys. And then Madrid will go again and try to get a goal, and then it will be ruled off again. And then we started peppering them. 3 goals. Rafinha finished them. Lamar scored the 3rd one. Rafinha finished them. And it was fantastic. You know why it was really amazing to me? I read Pique's analysis and expectation of that match. Pique put a bet on 4-0 in favor of Barca.
4-0.
Press conference. 4-0 in favor of Barca. Yamal will score.
I have a friend. Is a Barcelona fan. He took on 3 guys. One-on-one stake. Took a bet with them that Barca was going to score nothing less than 3 goals at the Bernabeu on that Saturday, and he won all bets.
He will win. Piqué told them that look, 4-0 and Lamine will score.
Wow.
And as they scored 2, I told my son and my daughter and my son were all watching the match. I was like, Piqué predicted 4. You might get to 4. And my son said, no, I think we're just okay here. Maybe a 2-1. I said, it might get to 4. And then 3rd came in. I said, maybe Piqué's prediction will happen here. By the following morning, when I read the Barca fan page again, I saw Piqué saying that they haven't seen the last of this new Barca. That the next time they take them to Camp Nou is going to be worse than that.
That is from a fan because when you look at it, you have to consider the fact that Real Madrid had a very, very stressful midweek match with Dortmund that they had to come back. They had to dig deep to come back. So it will tell on the players. If you look at the number of days, it's not enough for them to really recover. To play that kind of match, it takes extra. Doki plays football, you understand what I'm saying? You have to come out all out with more energy.
You might say, apart from the last matters, we saw the, do I call it, the techniques Barcelona used. They were able to cut them off. Whenever they go for any move, they cut them offside. You understand? Anytime they move, they are always off.
It is eye line. And one dangerous thing about eye line is you can only get the best out of it when your opponent is not expecting you to use that strategy. once your opponent discover that this is the strategy you want to use, you'll be in serious trouble.
You know, there was no way Barca could avoid using the offside trap against the likes of Mbappe and Vini Jr., who are the fastest speed people in La Liga. You can't catch them. Is it Kubasi that will catch Mbappe? Or is it, what's our number 3, Balde, that will catch Mbappe and Vinicius? They can't catch them. So the best they could do was, let's set the trap and maintain a very good... Of course, 1 or 2 times it might fail. Yeah. But apart from the highlight...
But they got almost
aside
5
the highlight,
times they got it right.
One of the analysis, the technical analysis we also observed is that Hansi Flick was using a very high press strategy. No. Barca players were pressing on their central defense and their goalkeeper. Lewandowski, because of his age, was withdrawn to be a false 9, while the 2 wingers were pressing actively. Lamine was pressing from here. Rafinha was pressing, and they were pressing on those defenders. So the defenders didn't have the opportunity to float the ball even to their wings most of the time. And before those ones could get the ball to the wings, the midfielders, Casado is here. And you know Casado, that young man, he was like, he was there. It was a strategy that was working. 2-3 people compress on them. Before you could muzzle it out, Casado is there to obstruct Vinicius, and then this guy is there to obstruct that one. And that strategy worked for them. But the issue with that strategy is that it tires players out really fast. Fatigue and setting.
But another thing again, they are lucky because these players are young players. They have so many strength. They have strength. They have
but they've been getting a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
The thing is, the danger now is we are playing young lads playing too many games. What happened to Ansu Fati? You saw Belal. Was it Belal?
Bernat was an injury.
Good injury, out of the season.
It was a contact injury. He put his foot down. The guy stepped on it, and that was a fracture. Now that was a ligament.
In fact, right now I'm very worried for Lamine, because Lamine, the coach, should be wise enough to regulate the number of games he's playing.
Not to be like Saka.
Lamine.
Not to be like Saka.
You see the fair he just mentioned. A lot of people have been putting that. If you check our official page in Barca, the fan page in Barca, everybody keeps saying, look, you can pull Lamine out at 75 minutes. He doesn't have to finish that game. He doesn't have to finish that game.
He played in the Euros for Spain. He played a lot of games last season. He has started almost every game this season.
And that same issue happened to Pedri. Remember Pedri? The year he won the Copa, the Junior Ballon'dor. Yeah. He was there for Barca. They won the league in Barca. He went to play for Spain, friendlies and qualifier. Then he was in the Nations League, and then they still drafted him into the Olympic squad that same season.
All right, let's quickly go to the preview match. Just 3 matches we're going to preview for the weekend, and the first one is Bournemouth versus Manchester City. Now, with the form of Manchester City and with the form also of Bournemouth, what are we expecting in that match?
I think that it's going to be an interesting time. Bournemouth has never taken any point in the Premier League away from Man City. They've played about 15. Man City won all 15. So, but this time around is a weakened Man City side. But you can't underestimate Guardiola. He's a tactical machine. There's Bob too that can come up and do something. There are young lads in the Man City setup that can come. And the funniest part is, it is when you know the marquee man that you can mark them out. Those young boys, they can come in and do the damage. And the damage will be there. But Bournemouth has been difficult to play at home. The only team that has defeated them at home is Chelsea. And it was a lucky victory at the end of the day. So it's going to be an exciting time. But I think Man City can hedge it.
All right, Doki, what do you think?
You see, there's something about legends and gurus. They can make use of very little things and create wonderful results. Guardiola has established himself to be a legend, not just on the playing field, but as a coach. He's a guru. He can use those young lads. He can create something really fantastic. All he needs to do is recognize his strength and then play to his strength. he can always do that. He can adapt. I believe City should get the better of Bournemouth and get all the 3 points in this game. It shouldn't be a problem for them.
All right, the next one is Man U versus Chelsea.
Yeah, Man U.
I think I should go about that one first before you finish. You can round up
Alright.
because
All right.
of your depth in Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know, Man U right now is struggling. Man U just sacked their coach.
Okay.
It's a sign of struggle. And they brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy to be the caretaker for one match. And he won the game fantastically, 5-2. And fans of Man U were like, hey, we're back. And I'll be like, back where? Against which team? Leicester in what tournament? And they said, look, let's look at the next match. Of course, they're going to be playing Chelsea. It's an acid test for United, to be candid. And United might be burnt because Chelsea is in a very good form. Forget that they lost Carabao Cup. They have been on a consistent run. Draw, win, draw. The last time they lost was possibly 6 or 7 games before that Carabao loss. And those boys are getting gelled. The Jackson that we said was not performing before, dancing and doing moonlighting on the field of play, has started scoring. And this guy has been scoring. No, there was a time he was doing moonwalker.
And he was still scoring at that time. They rewarded him with a new contract because of the ghost.
So for me, I'm going to tip Chelsea to have the advantage.
But another thing I want us to look at, if it was Ten Hag that took Man U against Leicester City, would they have won like this?
Listen.
So that means Van Nistelrooy has actually brought some bite into Manchester United.
New manager syndrome. When you just sack a coach, every player is fighting for a place. So every player wants to perform above their normal. So these things, that's why this game on Sunday is a banana peel for Chelsea. If Chelsea is not careful, they will lose that game. If they are not, because now you don't know the strategy. Because he's a new interim coach. You don't know how they've done this before. Where Carrick, they ended up playing a draw against Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. So this thing is like a banana peel. You don't know how it will go at the end of the day. So, but I still think that if Maresca can coin something out, like how Chelsea can go at that game, maybe a slim win, but it's going to be very difficult. Really, that. And now, after the international break, Ruben Amorim will resume. So it's not as if Van Nistelrooy is going to get the job. So, but I mean, we are yet to see what Amorim. But Amorim, with what he did with Sporting, my goodness, he won almost all the 38 games last season. Almost, I think 30-something games.
Yes, about 34, 35
one of the highest
games.
scoring side in the whole of Europe. Is one good coach that knows what he's doing.
All right. Lastly, the match between Espanyol versus Barcelona. Before you say anything, I want to read what Joan Collins say. That's one of the directors of Espanyol those days. That is 2012 and 2020. Say, unfortunately, I see very little chance of winning. I will not think about or watch the match. I will disappear off the map. I will turn off my phone, and when it is over, I will see what happened. He said, it's not that I have no hope, it's that they have taken all my hope away.
You know.
You see what Baka have cost. You know,
how would you send a shooting stars to go and face Chelsea or United in Europe? That's how it looks now. Because this is a Barca that just crumbled a Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich just came from the last Champions League match, winning 8-2.
9-2. 7-2. Sorry, 7-2.
No. Their last one, they lost.
The one that they won 8-2.
Yeah, that was the next.
Yes, that was 8-2.
No, they've not played the second one. Yeah,
they lost the second one to Aston Villa.
Okay, now that is a club that beats another club in Europe 8-2.
7-2.
Barca will defeat them. Okay, 7-2 by 4-1. And 3 days later, or 4 days later, they will hold a Real Madrid, the biggest and the most successful club in the world, the holding champion of Champions League, and trash them on home soil. 4-0 with Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, the Ballon'dor nominee, Mbappe, Ballon'dor nominee, Jude Bellingham, Ballon'dor number 3, and so many Ballon'dors here, even Cavaya.
Yeah.
And we trust them 4-0, and then you are Espanyol. You are Espanyol now.
And the man is saying, it's not that I don't have hope. It is that they have taken my hope.
And Espanyol is coming to Barca's home soil.
No, they're playing. Barca's playing away.
What the doc is saying is from the fan perspective. See, forget form. When it comes to derby, it is derby.
And you know the Espanyol too. Another thing, they always give back a trouble.
No, it's derby.
It's a derby.
They are both in Catalonia.
Yeah.
So it's a derby.
It's a war.
It's a war. They don't care if you like go and win the. When Messi was there, Messi saw it now. It is a derby. So all those derby, if you like go and defeat Real Madrid times 10. This one is local derby. For instance, the way we are in the studio, I know you. Somebody looking at you from maybe Ghana will be looking at you with a different eye. You want to go and play there, you understand? They will like, but you want to play somebody that is your neighbor. Is it not that Barcelona? Forget Real Madrid. They will, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
It's the same bad blood between Tottenham, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal. Look at how West Ham and Chelsea's game usually is sometimes. Fulham, almost in the same street. Fulham. No matter how good Chelsea is, Chelsea will struggle against Fulham. It is derby. Forget winning 4-0.
No, but yeah, it's a derby. But
if
you are looking at match stats, if you are looking at match stats and form, you should just put your money on Barca.
Yeah, but
whatever you do, Barca.
What I'm trying to say in essence is that
win,
they have created fear.
or draw.
They have created fear in the heart.
No,
if a former Espanyol president is saying this, he say I will off my phone.
So
they have already created.
And I'll wait for the result. Because it's a derby and it will be too painful.
Yeah.
If the margin is wide.
All right, guys, thank you. That is how far we can go for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to the studio.
Yeah, thanks for
Doki, thanks for coming to the studio.
Thank you so much. It's always lovely and engaging to be with the fans here. It's unfortunate not many fans are calling in to share with us their opinion on this, but we will always do this, and it's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, to our viewer, thanks for staying tuned with us. That is how far we can go for today. Have a pleasant night rest.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles. This is Premier Sports Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.